This is Light and Bone Tarot, and thank you so much for being here for another reading. I am honored to be reading for you, and just want to wish you Happy New Year as well. It's January 2nd, 2022, so we're just starting the new year, and I am doing readings on what to expect in January. I finished yesterday, I did a reading on what to expect on your relationship in January, and today I'm doing it's a little more vague for a change, and this is just what to expect in January of this new year. What will January reveal to you? And I don't know what to expect with this reading or where it's going to go because it's so random in a way. I think it'll be fun. We'll see what pops up and what Spirit has to show us. So we do have 4 different pictures, oh my goodness, and they're entitled More, Growth, Lots, and Grown. Beautiful pictures of plants, and it's just whatever leaf looks good to you, pick it. That's your abundance and your, whatever beauty that beholds. That's yours for January. So let's get to it. Okay. If you are here listening to this reading, you picked More, and I will start the reading. I'm going to start with Oracle, and I'm going to put down a couple Oracle cards to get an idea here to start. We're going to ask, I want to see where you're at right now, and I want to get a snapshot then of what we're going to find out where you're headed this month, which could shape your whole year. We'll see. Let me see where you're at right now. Okay, we have unstick the stack, and then here we go. I will turn all these over because they are almost all upside down. Okay, so they were all upside down. 6 of Cups, Strength, 3 of Swords, and then we have the 5 of Swords. Unstick the stack. So just looking at this, we could say you're stuck. We could say you are experiencing a little, maybe a little heartache, a little pain, followed by a little sadness and loss. There's definitely an element of defeat, I think. But then strength too. I mean, these are very positive cards. This is a very sweet card of I think giving and loving and sharing in love, emotion. It's just a card of basically giving and sharing. And I do call it the Simple Pleasures card, where because it is an emotionally based card, and something about this makes me think that you're finding happiness in maybe unexpected places. Maybe if things have been rough and you are all of a sudden happy doing something so simplistic that might not have done it for you, let's say a few months ago or a couple of weeks ago, and now it does. I think that is a good thing. And with strength, I can almost take this as a self-determination, a courage, a gentle power, nothing overpowering or overbearing. It's more like it's for you. It's not like you're using this strength on anyone else necessarily. It's just a way of dealing with whatever is coming at you. So I do think you've been experiencing a need to find strength within yourself. And if we go here to this other side of unstick the stack, we are dealing with heartbreak and defeat, you could say. The heartbreak, it's so easy to attribute this to a heartbreak from a relationship, but it can be a heartbreak from anything. I think where your heart's hurting, where it's taking you strength to get through it, and where you are working probably actively to find happiness in baby steps, basically. You're not going to write the book on happiness right now or how to be happy. You might not be having great dreams every night, but you're just taking those small steps to enjoy some of the little things you did, or just to get back to yourself. So I really like this side, but it really tracks with this side. we don't know where you're headed, but this is definitely an interesting snapshot of where you've been. And we could say you're stuck. I mean, anyone could be stuck. This could apply to someone has a great situation, who people could envy. It doesn't mean that they don't have things that they would love to change or work on or unstick. But I think more than others, this really speaks to you. I don't know what your what defeated you, what got to you, but just having these two sword cards here, I do get the impression that it got to you. It was mentally taxing and heavy for you. Maybe you felt a little depressed, overwhelmed, kind of plagued with a sense of like anxiety or just unrest, which is, I mean, not fine, but you'll be fine. But it does seem like it's been, I don't know, it's been a year, it's been a month, I'm not sure. But January is not only a new month, but it is also a new year. So we are going to get, we'll ramp up a little bit about what to expect this month. But if this tracks for you at all, I hope we see good things coming up. I'm sure we will. That's how tarot works. I'm not here to tell you bad things. Maybe open your eyes a little, but and yeah, I'm here to tell you what spirit. These are literally the cards that spirit has selected for you, and I am just conveying the message I see in the cards. Nothing more and nothing less. Okay, sorry, I make this tea when I do this. Okay, so I want to get. Let's get a little bit more about this pain. I want to get a feeling for just how intense it is, or what you're dealing with a little bit more. So we're going to say that we're giving you a card, Oracle card, Gratitude again, which sometimes these Oracle cards are funny where they're just over the top positive, and sometimes they really do nail it. And I do think Gratitude again does fall in line with what we're saying here. Like, you are getting to a point where you're really trying to see the silver lining. You are just mentally in your head probably getting back to making those efforts where you unstick yourself, where you heal your heart, your mind, your soul, whatever needs to be done. So let's get some more cards for this and get another idea of where you're at. And I think the hope here is that we get like positive enforcement for, how your month and your trajectory is going to look here. But so far, I think things are good. So if this is where you're currently at, I just take it card by card and then we'll kind of get a picture. But the Eight of Wands, I always want to call Wands Swords and vice versa. This does make me think of travel or just change. It can be a change of scenery, just maybe a change of your actions, your habits, just kind of switching something up. And it can be like a universal card for travel, but I don't necessarily see travel in you right now. But this Ten of Cups is a beautiful card. So great card. I mean, especially if anything regarding a relationship is what you're after. But to not make this a reading, because nothing about this is like, Wayne, this isn't like a relationship reading so far. This is just a reading about pain and how you're dealing with your own path to kind of heal your pain. So really, without taking it to a relationship place, I feel like you are probably starting to think or feel these emotions that are more positive. They're creeping in. Those happy thoughts are slowly coming back. And that would make sense with the Strength. It would make sense with the Six of Cups. But the Ten of Cups is like, the pinnacle of the cups. They are the good thoughts, the good emotions, what you would strive for, what you would meditate on to, achieve everything you want. And this is like a full-on like marriage, happy endings, love, relationship. So it doesn't mean that like that's going to happen to you this month, but I think it means that you're finally at a place where you maybe either want this, where you didn't want it before, or you were afraid of it, or you pushed those thoughts away, or you were focused on something that was sad and you didn't really give energy to these thoughts. But seeing this card here makes me think that you finally you're ready to change, and you're ready to start thinking about just things that make you happy, whatever that is. I'll leave that. I won't try to figure out what that is. I wouldn't be able to anyway, when it's not for me to figure out. And the 10 of Wands, being the pinnacle of the wands, this is a little bit heavier, but this definitely makes me think of that struggle. It's a card there's still a bit of a burden. Like, you're still carrying a weight. You are still dealing with burden, essentially. However, we will say this, the burden's almost over, because that is the end of the wand journey. And then the wand journey starts over. 10's the end of it. So when it starts over, you go through a beautiful journey again of, excitement and passion and inspiration, and like everything good that you want to feel gets reinforced, and the things you want to do happen, and it's just movement. It's good, positive action. So I will say that if I see the 10 of Wands here, I think this is ending. You are at the pinnacle, and we have a mountain here with a peak. Just these cards are very different, but you are just at the top of your struggle, and it really is. I should say it's downhill from here in a good way. Like, you are no longer fighting this uphill battle. You're no longer fighting. You're going to get to coast for a little bit, and you've earned it. And I think with this, you have the strength, you have the happy thoughts, you have your simple pleasures, and you have just a change of habit. You're starting to rewire how you're thinking, and all these things are going to start making you happy. So this card over here, we have a little more negative. This is leaving you, this is entering, and that's great. This isn't a bad card at all. This is like a card of everything from, it could be teamwork, it could be starting projects that are just now starting to come into fruition. Maybe like you've thought about what you want, and now there's this, like the wheels are starting to actually turn. So we could say that if there is something coming up with work or a project of some sort, new ideas, whatever it is, we could say that, like, even this isn't a card to say you will make $1 million in January, but it is a card to say, like, yeah, spirit can see that you're thinking about something, that you have probably even shared with a couple of people, something that you want to do. You're rolling it over in your head. You've journaled about it. You've said it out loud to yourself. And, this really could build you some momentum if you wanted to use this to maybe get out of a funk and just reach, another level. So far, just to sum up, I think that if we take this as what to expect in January, we'll find out what will be revealed to you. But I would say that you are, even if you don't even leave your house, you're in a better place. Every day it looks like you are feeling less stuck, happier, more positive, more in control, quite literally stronger, just more motivated, and just more positive. Like, whatever lack of endorphins might have been hitting your brain last month or for however long, I think you're really going to start to feel just some happy chemicals naturally coming at you. I just think things are going to change. Heartbreak, burden, loss. This is really a message to say this is not coming with you. January will bring new things. So I really like that. Let's get a line to find out I want to know what January is going to reveal to you. So I'm going to build down to see what January is going to reveal. That's fun for me. Sorry, I feel like if people did comment, which they don't yet, but if they did, they'd probably be like, she drinks very loud. Okay. Let's get a January. What January will reveal. Okay, so lead your metamorphosis. So let's follow with the thread that you're going through a transition of whatever kind, mental, physical. You're changing from being, whatever level of tormented to happy, and you're doing this. And this is, with the exception of possibly teaming up here to build something or grow something, or talk about going in that direction. This really is your own. This is very much you. I don't see that you've even left your house much, communicated much. I think you've been kind of in your own little bubble, dealing with you, doing you, and just now maybe you're starting to feel like you're ready to change and just come out a little bit into the world, hang out with friends, whatever it takes. So yes, lead your metamorphosis. This is, I think, what's really going to be revealed to you in January. And let's get some cards for that. Are we going to do 2 or 3? I'm going to do 3. Okay, so we've got 2 majors here with the Fool and the Tower, and then the 8 of Cups. So, okay, the Fool is a fun card, and I love it. This is perfect because this is you basically going out into the world, just this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little thing, and just saying like, whatever happened to me, you know, like fuck it, I'm doing my thing. I'm getting out here for better or worse. I'm going out into the world. That is how I would take the Fool. These other 2 cards are a little bit heavier, and the 8 of Cups it's definitely a card of moving on. So it is actually quite positive. And you know what, that didn't even hit me until I actually said moving on, because I see the 8 of Cups in general and I think, oh, like it's this card. I just think of the picture on the Rider-Waite Smith, and it just makes you think of like, oh, someone's got to leave something. But you're moving on in a good way. You're happy to be moving on. Like if January shows you that you can move on, even if still listening to this right now, it sounds like a lot, or it sounds sad or hard. I really think there will be a moment in January, if it's not here already, where you are just so ready to move on. And then with that, the Fool. But this card, the Tower, again, didn't realize it when I turned it over, but this is like, you know, this is crashing and burning. This is literally letting things burn and fall to the ground. So you are moving on. Metaphorically, whatever held you back, whatever your trouble was up here, pain, whatever you want to call it, this Tower is telling us that it's done. It will be completely and utterly done. And you know, you may have picked this pile and your life is actually going very well, very smoothly. Maybe there's something that's been like poking at you or eating at you or irking you. You know, it doesn't have to be, and I hope it's not like a catastrophic event that happened. This doesn't have to be this like life-altering, horrible thing that happened. It can just be something. Maybe you're generally a very happy-go-lucky, uppity person, or a perky person, and something happened that just really threw you for a loop and has you a little bit more consumed than usual. This could apply, but whatever that is, you will be rid of this in January. And I think to see the Fool back up this energy, it's basically saying like, not only will you be rid of it, but you'll be glad to be rid of it. It will make you quite literally feel giddy. You'll experience this like childlike pleasure of knowing that this weight's lifted and that it's just behind you. And we can take, like I said, this is like a simple pleasures, childlike enjoyment card here, and we can look at this and say, kind of like say the same thing. Like you're gonna find a very, very happy place in January, and I love that. I do have these little time cards that I think are relevant. I don't want anyone to invest too much stock into them, but at this point, I think it's just it's something to goal towards, let's say, or just some hopeful advice. So 3/4 of these have timestamps that I use on a lunar calendar. And I'm just going to say, when can you hope in January? When can you really hope to see this happen? Like when do you get to come into this little block of cards here in January? And let's see what we have for you, if there's a timestamp. Okay, good. Because yesterday I did 4 of these and not one of them had a timestamp, and it was disappointing, but I guess, the message that was supposed to be received. This is new moon, and I'm going to tell you when that is in a second, but it says, I accept renewal and delight in fresh starts, which is very, very lovely and wonderful. And our new moon, oh, Jesus, it is today. It's today, the 2nd of January. Didn't expect that. So that means you're not going to be watching this on January 2nd. You're going to be watching this on January 3rd or anytime thereafter. And it means you're already going to feel this. And if you thought you felt it, this is here to reinforce, like, yes, you did feel it. You are fine. If you thought maybe you were shedding these layers of pain and misery or whatever it is, but you weren't sure, this will remind you when you see this, like, oh no, you're right. Like, it's behind you. You weren't just thinking you've moved on. You actually have moved on. And you do get to be the Fool. And that is very, very lovely and fun. So I think January just has more for you. I mean, and that's the title that we picked. We picked more. And it is, there's more, there's great things coming. And even these oracle cards, which can be really hit or miss, they really tracked here. Like, this is a very good message. And I like the oracle cards. And again, I believe Spirit does pick the cards. They're just, sometimes they're like too warm and fuzzy for me, but these were really good. And I love this reading for you. I'm going to speaking of these delightful oracle cards, which I love. There's even a link. There's an affiliate link. I like them that much. Okay, so we're going to get for the month of January, and for whenever you're watching this. And I mean, side note, and this is definitely presumptuous of me to think that so many people are watching this, that they'll be watching it like all year. But let's say you stumble upon this in February and you watch it, or whenever. I still think it's meant for you whenever you watch that. I think that of all the tarot videos online, if there's a message that you like and receive, I don't think it matters when you watch it or how old the video is. It finds you for a reason. It's your message. So, okay, we're going to get a good luck charm from Spirit, and then we're going to get a kind of like word of warning, like just little heat of caution, something. But these are good things. That's the whole point. These are very lovely things. Okay. So your good luck charm is the distraction of shiny things. I actually very much like that. And your past supports your future is your word of warning. So if we're going to take the distraction of shiny things as a good luck charm, love this. I don't know what is beautiful and shiny and distracting in your life. This could be a person. This could be a job that you want. This could be something that you want to change. But it's just saying, like, maybe cool on that for a minute. Maybe don't be hasty. Don't be so quick to be distracted, because you're on a path here. You're doing things right. And so just beware if there is something that makes you maybe want something so bad. Just question why am I going so hard on that? Yeah. Okay. And then your word of warning, or not in a scary way, just in a nice way. Your past supports your future. And I'm going to say, like, for that, like, we have this crash and burn with the tower and this, like, lead your metamorphosis, like all these things about changing, but it's still your past. It's still your story. And I think that it's basically saying, like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Whatever you've been through, it's still you, and it's still, let it shape your future. Don't forget it. Don't abandon it. And, tap into it as like a guideline to either not make the same mistakes, or how to deal with a situation like this if it arises, how to help someone else in a situation like this. And again, I hope that your biggest problem was something that was not near as catastrophic as I can make it sound in this reading. I'm not, that's my hope. But either way, whatever your situation is, if you got this pile, I just want you to know that whatever little pain you were dealing with, January is bringing a lot of positive change and energy your way, and tremendous. It's just great. And it's already happened because it's the 2nd and it's the new moon. Okay. Great reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope to hear from you. Thank you. Good night. Hello, thank you so much for being here. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and I am doing a reading for January 2022, what to expect this month. This month and this new year, but really we're focusing on this month, and I'm also going to point out what will be revealed to you in January. So we're not giving this any tone. It's not necessarily about relationships or anything in particular. We're just going to see what this month has in store for you. So yes, I hope you enjoy it. And if you are here, we are reading for growth. A lovely plant picture, and the caption is growth. So something about that drew you to that picture. And here we are. This is your reading. Okay. I'm going to put down... I want to know where you're at right now. So what led you to this reading? Let's get an idea of what maybe the past up to this point has been like for you. So one oracle card. Magic happens when you most expect it. Okay. And... interesting. Okay. I say interesting because it's it's always interesting, but I don't know what it is about this card. I love it. It's definitely a naughty card, and people can give it a negative spin. I can give it a negative spin, but there's something about it. There's like this little bit of empowerment that I feel in this card. It's like it's a sly fox who has 6 swords above him, and then he's on one more. And on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it almost implies like either you've been kind of like gently swindled, or you've gently swindled someone and you enjoyed it. There's like a little bit of like, you didn't necessarily do the thing you should have and you enjoyed it, or vice versa. And even though that's not good, there's something like, I don't know. There's something I almost love about that. And I don't know why. Probably because I'm not really picturing people getting like horribly hurt. It's not a card of like viciously hurting someone. It's, I don't know. It's an over self-indulgence. Okay. So I like that for you. The 5 of Cups, not a great card. Definitely loss here. Yeah. Some things that made you happy turned out to make you sad, and there's so many different ways that could go love, relationships, family, money, something you were counting on or hoping for didn't work out. So this card you could have lost, I don't know, something that meant something to you, or it can be very, very serious. Okay, and then Ace of Cups, fun card. It makes me think of falling in love. It's like, it can almost be like your cup runneth over type feeling, like this fountain of everything from youth to love to abundance. And the Tower, it's like, I don't know, just let it crash and burn. Okay, so what you've been going through, I will say you were taken for a little bit of a ride. Again, I don't think it's the kind of ride that led to a loss that was heart-wrenching, even though this poor horse makes us think that. But it could have been, I think it was something manageable for you. Maybe it was just more of like a head up. Maybe it was like more of just a heads up. Let's put it that way. Like something that gave you a... Yeah, your world wasn't rocked, but it was definitely shook a little bit. And I could say that it had to do with a relationship. I could look at this card and think that. I'm trying to think how else I would look at this card and think that. That's really the only way I can look at this card. And I think as a result of that, you had to really pass on whatever thoughts you had that relationship could go somewhere. And magic happens when you most expect it. Maybe you knew going into this that it wasn't the right person or the right match or the right situation, and you went for it anyway, or pushed yourself to maybe think that this time would be different, or this person would be different, or they weren't the person you had a gut feeling they were. I just feel like this card reminds us, like, look, if we go with our gut, we usually do the right thing. And for you, I guess you could say, instead of magic happens when you most expect it, it's like, well, when you don't think things are going to work out, they don't. This just tells me that something didn't work out for you. And I get the feeling, like I said, I can tie this to a love or a relationship, or I can tie it maybe to like a close friend. It's the loss, and just there's a little bit of a twist of a knife from someone that you really did love and care about. So if it wasn't a romantic partner, it was someone close to you. And again, I don't know that. Well, the Tower does make me think there's a sense of finality there. If it was a family member that you're gonna, you'll speak to them again or whatever, you may repair things by the end of January. But yeah, that's where I think you've been at last month. So I want another idea let's get another picture of your current situation. Something about this and then we'll get into what's coming up for you in January. I just want to get another picture of this. So a little bit more about you right now. Okay, balance. This would make me think that whatever happened up here, you are actively trying to work on it. You're correcting it. You're finding your balance. You're not letting it consume you. You're not, just riddled with doubt and anxiety. I think you did let it crash and burn. And honestly, I don't think you're really too dramatically affected by this. I think for a minute you were, but you're fine. That's really what I get just in this. But let's get an idea of a little bit more of what you're feeling, where you're at. And then we'll get into your month and see. And then you picked growth again. So my goodness, excuse me. We'll have to see what's coming up with growth. Okay, so you right now, balance, sure. I do think you looked within a little bit. You turned within. I mean, the Hermit can be extreme to like, you don't leave your house, you don't talk to anyone. But the Hermit to me is always a very positive card. It's not a card of like disappearing and cutting people off for no reason. It's a card of like literally turning within and finding your own internal light. It's a heavy card for inspiration, for like spirituality, like you just reconnect. That's what the Hermit is. And you do it by looking within. Sounds kind of cheesy, but that just means you don't get this inspiration from like external resources. They're internally fed. And this can be everything from like just starting to, journal about your dreams and thinking more about like, just being more intentional with your thoughts, thinking about what you want and just trying to put yourself on the right path. So that's fine. If you felt this up here, great. And I think we all need to be the Hermit. I am coming out of a Hermit phase, which lasted probably a couple months, and it was needed for me. It got me to doing these videos. It was just what I needed to find the energy and the drive. So yes, this can be a huge driver. 10 of Pentacles is a great card as well. Things are coming together. This could be work, love, home, anything. It just tells me that like things are really gelling for you. Like things are clicking, and you've worked hard. This is the card of like, okay, it's going to pay off. Whatever you've been doing, this did not set you back so much that you're starting at square one with anything. And if you don't feel that way now when you're watching this is, we have a whole month ahead of us. And I hope that you see that hard work is definitely paying off, and good things are happening, and not just in like a woo-woo way, but in a like, you haven't lost that much. And I say that because if you have, I didn't mean it like that, but if you haven't, then you still have a lot, and things are great in your world in a lot of ways. Father of Pentacles, again, just like the pinnacle of the Pentacles, Pinnacle of the Pentacles. It's an earth sign. It's strong. It's positive. The Father of Pentacles is like, it's just a very secure, confident energy. And I love the Pentacles for being that like earthy energy. I mean, there's something about the Pentacles. It just makes me think of like, I feel like everyone loves nature in their own way. Some people camp. I'm not into camping. I'm not into like rock climbing or doing extreme, like dangerous nature things. But I do love like walking on the beach or hiking with my dog or hiking even extreme hiking, I enjoy. But that I can be so happy doing that. Like if I'm out in nature walking with my dog, I am so happy. And that's kind of like a vibe I get from the Father of Pentacles. It's that like you're just finding what makes you happy. You're connecting to the things that really kind of like bring you back to your source, and in a very balanced and like wholesome way. You know, this isn't about like getting happy by going shopping or buying that car, although it could actually, because Pentacles do have to do then with like money and abundance. But I'm just getting from you, I'm getting a little bit more of like a Ace of Pentacles. I definitely get that money's coming in. Actually, the more I look at this, maybe you are buying a car that you want, actually. But what I meant by that though, I just think you're going to find whatever's making you happy and coming into your life and coming into like full fruition. It feels good. It feels right. It doesn't feel like it's something you would regret or you would overdo it. Just as like, you're not really going to overdo it if you're out in nature, or if you're connecting in a way that is very like wholesome and right and nurturing. So nurturing, that's maybe a great word. But taking all that out of the equation, yes, work is strong, home life is strong in so many ways. You are grounded, you are doing very well. This is you currently, like you're on track. You are, and you're putting yourself right with the Hermit. So work probably is a big part of your life. You probably are someone who's very driven and you work hard, and you can't ever ignore that. Even if you get a little waylaid up here, maybe with a relationship or some outside kind of temptation, you are very much successful and getting things done. And maybe your balance, you are striking that balance again, or you have to work on that balance, because this is very much, there isn't much of a work-life balance here unless we really do have you getting in touch with the things you need to do that make you happy. Like I said, going on a hike or camping or whatever it is, find your balance, and the Hermit's definitely going to help you find that balance. Okay, let me find out what is in store for you this month. What will January reveal to you? And yeah, we did growth. Oh, and your growth is probably financial again, because that's definitely, I just feel like that's you. Okay, changes. And Temperance, that's definitely a hard balance card. And then the Four of Swords. So, okay, there's only so many ways you can explain changes if we look at these cards. But let's say there will be a change of sorts coming in January. It's not going to be bad at all. But I do think the change is it's gonna come in the form of balance. And I say that because when I said striking that balance, that work-life balance, we have Temperance, and then we have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is like a rest and recovery card. There's an interesting story behind the origin of this card, which was basically more or less about having like a coffin built for, I think it was like the Crusaders. I can't say the word. Anyway, for people who would go off and fight these noble battles, and they had a coffin built so that just in case they died, there was already a coffin for them. And this is the card of rest and recovery. I just think it means take precautions and rest and don't get too out of whack. And Temperance absolutely fuels that, because this is an internal balance, your internal healing. This is like, I'm going to say the word balance again, but it's like finding weighing those extremes and not getting too bogged down with one or the other. But this is also very internal. Within you find what you need to take and what you need to give. And if this is coming up and this is coming up in the Hermit, I want to say that there is a part of me that, this probably happened up here. You probably only got to this point where you were tricked, or you didn't see something as clearly as you should, and it didn't result the way you wanted it to, because you probably were a little out of balance. You were maybe investing too much in it, or you wanted it too bad. You were looking at it as like a, maybe something to not save you, but something to kind of like change or bring a different level of excitement into your life that maybe hasn't been there for a while. I just feel like you put too much stock in it. Let's put it that way. When really when you're right, when you're more balanced, you wouldn't have fallen so hard, or you wouldn't have put as much energy and hope and kind of like determination into this when it just wasn't right for you, and was probably, obvious. And if it wasn't, I mean, that happens too, because there was a little bit of trickery here. But again, I think someone was able to do that to you because you didn't want to see it, because you wanted a break or a reprieve from something else that was happening. But yeah, no, you are realizing this, and you're getting there in January. And I think you're in a very good place. Let's see where you're at. I want to get an idea of like what's going good for you right now. Let's see a little bit about your like happy place right now. So it's the now, which is interesting. Your happy place right now. We got the now. Okay, so great. What's so great about your now? The Chariot and more Pentacles. You don't need any help being driven. I mean, you are, and the Chariot is just a sheer card of drive, motivation, momentum, endurance. Whatever you want, you go after. Probably to the point of then finding yourself out of whack or balance, because I do think you're very good with you are all in or all out. I'm that way. I am a all or nothing person, and it can absolutely throw me off or make me just, you go so hard until you're like, oh my God, I need something else. Like I can't believe I haven't like hung out with a friend in 3 months, and then you do nothing but hang out with friends and drink and party every night for 2 weeks or something. Like that's what I meant about that balance. But for your now, I do think you are exceedingly driven. You're chasing after something that I think probably has to do with work, no doubt. This is actually a card of it's kind of like making those investments, starting to put the work in. And I can see this as, I mean, it's definitely a Pentacles card. We know you work hard. We know you're successful. We know you've got drive. But this might be a card of starting to work on yourself a little bit. I think not only are you on course to do some work to not let this happen again, I see you kind of managing your own path a little bit better, your own emotions, and just, yeah, I think you're starting to put the work in. Maybe, I mean, even tarot, I'm not a counselor at all. I don't have a degree in anything, actually. So when I say this is a form of therapy, I don't mean that at all for those who actually go to therapy. But it is a form of therapy in that it gives you a new perspective, okay? It's like an analytical tool to just think of things differently. It just gives you a new perspective. That's what tarot is. And that's, I think, what Spirit wants to do. Spirit doesn't want to tell you your future. She wants to kind of show you where you're at and then open your eyes to things. And with a little bit of, insight that I think is unexplainable and really magical at times. So yeah, I'm actually going to ask Spirit for some magic insight for you. But I do think that you're on a path right now. You're doing something. If you were to sit down and talk with a friend, they'd be like, okay, so tell me about what you're working on. Tell me why you've been so consumed. Tell me what's going on with you. Like they know that you've got a lot to tell. You've been doing, I don't know if you're doing a lot of work outside of yourself, and that, like, I don't know that you're traveling the world right now or dating the most amazing person or going to all the new restaurants, but I think you are obviously doing your job. You're working hard at whatever it is you do in that regard. But I just think that you're consumed, you're busy. You're not just reading a book or just watching TV. You're like really lit up. There's always something going on in your head. And that's kind of what I see from the Chariot right now and the now. Okay, what did I say we were going to ask Spirit for? Because I forgot. What did I ask her for? Oh, like a fun, if she wants to give it to us. Like something, like some insight. What's her insight for this month? I don't know, like if she wants to share something you wouldn't know, something I wouldn't know unless I specifically asked her for it. So what does Spirit want to share with you? This is fun. I've never asked that before. Okay, fall in love with your own story. And let's get to tarot cards. Son of Wands. And Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so fall in love with your own story is fairly straightforward. Why did Spirit, but we're going to have to put a little more stock in that because this is like, we asked Spirit for something very specific. I don't know. I don't know if you're a writer. I don't know if you can really like somehow capitalize on what you've been through or where your head's at or what you're experiencing, but there is something about like, whatever this is, I don't know. I just think you have an opportunity to make something of it, whatever that is. But definitely don't shun it. Don't be embarrassed of it. Don't fight it too hard. Just let it be a part of, who you are moving forward. But yeah, there's something, just, think on this, fall in love with your own story, because she pulled this card for a reason. And then we have the Son of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. I'm just going to say, to just wrap up your whole pentacle thing, this is like wealth, prosperity, this regal person cloaked in this like beautiful golden gown with, I don't know, gilded roses or something. This is definitely a card of like, maybe you're right on the precipice of like something big happening from a work or professional standpoint. If you are, then yes, that is what I mean. I hope it happens for you in January. If it doesn't happen in January, it will happen, I would love to think, very soon thereafter. But this is a reading about what to expect in January. So it looks like that is some great form of abundance and a material, tangible form is going to come your way. And then the Son of Wands is, this could be a person. If it is a person, be careful of the Son of Wands because they are... they're like a Prince Charming that needs a little work. Let's put it that way. So they can be a very charming person, but they need to mature from the Son of Wands. You don't want them to stay the Son of Wands for too long. Let's put it that way. You want them to show you other sides of themselves. But if you get presented with the Son of Wands in January, that's what I'm going to take this as. I don't think you're the Son of Wands right now. You're pentacles to the core. You just, Jesus, your pentacles. And if you weren't, I feel like you'd be water. I feel like you'd be emotion or thought. I don't know. But whatever it is, I do think there's going to be a Son of Wands entering your life. It could be a business partner. It could be, I don't know, a child you haven't talked to in a while, or it could be just, your run-of-the-mill fuckboy. It could absolutely be that too. So yeah, not hating on them, just they need to change by the end of January. But yeah, this is your reading. I think it's a great one. I think you've been through something. I think you are a hard worker. You achieve things. Money and abundance is absolutely coming your way. And you are kind of warned here, although you already know it, that you do have to strike a balance. You can't let yourself go so far down one road, so deep into one project, or, get so much momentum doing one thing that you abandon other things. And then it makes you like want those things so bad. It's like if you don't eat cake for a year, you really want cake because you haven't had it for a year. And then when it's put in front of you, you just lose your mind. And, so it's kind of like that. And there was one other thing I was going to say, but no, I really like this for you and hope you enjoyed it. If you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear it. But this is growth. So something's growing for you. It always grows for you. It's your earth sign. Things grow in the earth. You're connected. You're in very good shape. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything to share, I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye. Hello. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a reading for January 22nd, what to expect this month and the new year. And you are here for lots. Beautiful leaves with the caption lots, and whatever attracted you to this pile, you're meant to be here. This is your reading. So let's get to it. The last two readings have been very cool. Yeah, just insightful as to what January is going to reveal for you. It's a fun topic. Okay, I'm going to find out a little bit about where you're at right now, what's been leading up to this point. Where's your head at? Okay, so this is the now, which is, funny since I just asked where you're at right now. So yes, this is going to reinforce that I think you're very much in the moment, we could say. Maybe you're making a conscious effort to... Let's find out what your now means, because I don't want to speculate as I turn the cards over. Okay. So, Father of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, I say them out loud for my sake, not necessarily yours. 8 of Pentacles and 10 of Swords. Okay. I think I'm not getting relationships out of this, which is fine. It's almost refreshing to have, this would be the third reading that isn't necessarily based in relationships on what to expect. Definitely, we can't ignore this card. This is a sad card. It is endings and defeat. However, it is also the end of a cycle. The swords, these cards cap out at 10, which means everything starts over. And when it starts over, you've got clarity. You've got a whole path that will ultimately lead to defeat again. That's just how the world works. But you do have fresh starts coming your way. But something ended. Something you've been working on, something you wanted, something you've put a lot of energy and thought into. Yes, it's either ending for you right now or it has just ended. I'm sure it's made you sad. I don't get from this that you're broken up about it. I think it was more of just like a fact of what's actually happened. Ace of Pentacles is all aces are new beginnings and potential, but the Pentacles kind of have this prosperity aspect to them. So from an earning potential or work or career or home, there's hope. There's absolutely a light at the end of the tunnel. Whether these are connected or not, there's still, I think January is going to bring some freshness, some newness in a good, exciting way. I see you as the Father of Swords. I can't ignore that. I think this is you. And the Father of Swords is... they're intense. They are sharp. It's everything you'd expect an owl with a rainbow sword to be. There's a little bit of cunning to them. They are no nonsense, respected, just like laser focused and just very swift, very astute, very self-controlled even. There's something about the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords. There's just, I'm never the King of Swords. This is so totally not my energy. I am like flippant and I can't really hold a thought for too long. But to be the Father of Swords, I would love to be this person just for a month. But they're very, very focused, laser focused. Okay. And with the 8 of Pentacles, there's a little bit of patience here. It's kind of waiting for your efforts and your hard work to pay off. So these cards go together great for me. And then these cards go together, as I say, like whatever this is, this is your light at the end of the tunnel here. I think you're strong. I think this is more of like a what happened versus something that has, just gutted you. I don't get that out of it. So if this is your now, you're recuperating more in a professional, financial kind of way. You're recouping your losses, quite frankly, and you're focused. You've definitely got a task at hand that you're focused on. And when I look at the patience, I do think there's a specific thing that you're goaling towards that you want, that if this tracks, you're thinking of it right now, You're on track for something. And if you're watching this reading, you're probably hoping that whatever this is comes to fruition quickly and January brings it. So we'll see. And then, yeah, this is your now. I don't know how else to put it. I'm sure if I read the cards that went with this, I'd get a little more insight, but I'm just going to take it for like, this is you right now. You're alert. You're aware. You're not in a fog or a dream. I think you're very much with us. And, yeah, that's another thing. You're not like in the clouds at all. Whatever if anything, this made you more focused. It made you more attentive and determined. So I'm going to do kind of the same line again. I just want to get a little bit more of where you're at, what led to this, just to get a snapshot of where you're going or what this month can look like. Let's see. So you are magic. Great. What does that actually mean? I'm going to say it means you've got some skills. You've got, you can make things happen. Less of like a warm, fuzzy attachment that this card might be intended for. I'm just going to see it as like the magician card almost in tarot, where you really have the faculty to turn situations around and flip things. I think you are very skillful in doing that. And you probably are doing that right now. Mother of Swords. Four of Cups, Daughter of Cups. I've seen her a lot. Okay. And Four of Pentacles. So a little bit more about where you're at. So going back to whatever happened up here, something didn't work out, something ended, there was, a sense of defeat, a sense of loss that went along with it. And like I said, I feel like there's a monetary attachment we can give to that in one way or another. You are saving a little. I wouldn't say you're in a full blown state of lack, but I would say that you're gearing up. You're holding onto your resources. You're patiently waiting. You might be investing. There's a sense of like holding tight. You're not necessarily planning your next vacation. You aren't, going to the mall or oh my God, like, I don't know, Amazon. You're not going to a store where, however that store looks, virtual or not, and spending like, $500 because you've earned it. I think you're in a different mindset, which would be the Father of Swords. Like he's not gonna be silly. He's not gonna be reckless or careless. He's very, very intentional. Daughter of Cups, I think, is you, which is a little more emotional than maybe you've been. There's nothing silly about this card. It is actually, there's a sweetness. It's almost like maybe there's a little bit of a softness that's come over you, ever so slight. But this card makes me think of like this little bit of warmth that's crept in has made you, I don't know. It's just made you, it's put you in sync with yourself a little bit more. There's, whatever that is, maybe you've thought a little bit more about what you want, what makes you happy, what this is all for, where it's going. I feel like your mind's kind of wandered down different paths than it has before. And maybe the loss kind of turned you onto that. But interestingly enough, this is a card of apathy. So it really could contradict what I just said. And I don't want it to. I want to try to make sense of it. You could have felt slightly apathetic and now you don't. I'm not exactly sure what to do with those two cards, or I'll probably get an idea of why they're here, but I don't take back what I said about this. This is me thinking that you've come into a slightly softer side of yourself. Mother of Swords, I think this is someone else in your life. There's an energy that I think helped get you through this. Not that you need help getting through anything. You are strong, you are successful, you are fierce. You have a mind that won't let you down. Your thoughts really don't let you down. They are there to support you and lift you up. But you do need a little bit of this water, and it came in. But I think the Mother of Wands is someone, it could actually be a mother, or it just could be a friend. It could be a partner, anyone who gives you, like, kind of protects you, makes you feel protected, makes you feel they're here for you if you want to have like a full blown bitch fest. They will give you confidence. They will go on a 5 mile run with you. They will, like, I don't know, sit and drink with you. Whatever you need, they're going to come through. And again, this can be, you could need a conversation, you could need a physical activity that you do with them, whatever it is. Like, they have been a real person of support for you, because I think they really do love and care about you. And I think they're almost in awe of you and have great respect for you. So they're happy to help you. I don't think you rarely turn to people for help. Yeah. And with this apathy card, even though I don't see a card tearing this down, I feel like and this might have been in reverse, I don't know. I feel like you're not as apathetic as you were. And that's how I'm going to take this card, because everything else is telling me that you're coming into like a more, just a more kind of gentle, communicative energy. And I do think this loss brought you there. I think it brought some things out in you that have made you a little more in the present, whether that's like connected to the people around you, making connections with old friends, or nature. You're more grounded. You're more in the present. And yeah, with the You Are Magic, I think you're healing yourself in whatever way was needed. I do think you're enjoying this kind of spark you're giving yourself and you're feeling. And I think you're feeling more, period. Less apathetic. So I could almost turn this upside down if I didn't turn it right side up already. But that's how I read this card. And because to attach any apathy to you right now doesn't feel right. I think you are just, and you're patient, and something about like, I don't know. I just think you're in a good place. You're very strong and you are actively pursuing something. Okay. I want to know what January will reveal for you. Okay. Well, this card came up. So, okay. Unstick the stack. What does January reveal for you? So I don't know that you were stuck necessarily, but maybe mentally you've been focusing a little bit too much on one thing. Maybe this isn't a like, oh, you need to just get over that person, or I don't know. This to me is like, I think there's something mentally that you've been a little too focused on. And this almost looks like a pupil and a retina. That's the impression I get here, that you've had your eye on something and you just need to let it go a little bit. Release those thoughts that might be ever so slightly overpowering, or consuming. And let's get what January is going to reveal. Okay. So, a good card and a bad card. Well, just kidding. Okay, so the good card here is the Nine of Pentacles. This is success. This is abundance. We could go so far as to call it wealth. Like, it's a great card. It's independent wealth. There's an air of independence to this card. So it just makes me think of like hard work truly paying off. Like, this is a great card. I love it. There's so much to say about it, and yet I've said it all already. This is a card to me of like illusion, of things that maybe if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. There's an element of that in this card. There's also kind of like a feeling of, if this pertains to you and not someone else or an external situation, it makes me think that maybe you're feeling a lot. You're maybe deeply in your feels in January, more than you're accustomed to or used to, which would mean like your Daughter of Cups really matured and you are really just feeling a whole range of emotions, that everything from like, but I actually think it would be a good way. I think it would be a way that made you feel like very awakened. You aren't someone, I don't think you have an addictive personality, or I don't think you have these like compulsive tendencies. So I wouldn't worry about this card sticking with you for longer than January. I just see that maybe in January you're going to feel just more than you have. And that could be, part of Unstick the Stack. That could be part of the message there. Like things that were like almost like blocks, like there could have been blockages that blockades or something that didn't let certain feelings in or didn't let your mind wander down a certain direction. And now you're going there and it's bringing up some stuff, which is, pretty much the opposite of apathy. So we're following in tune with the fact that did I turn that right side up again? I don't think you're apathetic. I think you have been. I think you could be. I don't think you are right now. And I think if anything, you're on this trajectory where you're just not apathetic. I like your emo a little this month. I feel like for you, yes, relatively speaking, absolutely. But things are going good. I think things are going very good for you from a work standpoint. And this card of saving, holding tight, kind of bearing down, this is, the opposite of that. This is just, it's abundance in material wealth and success, home, everything. It's a great card. This could be everything from like taking a vacation and just enjoying the hell out of it. This could be a walk on the beach. Well, a fancy vacation that leads you to a walk on the beach, moreover. Like, yeah, it's a great card. Let's get a little bit, see where we're at. I want to know something else, another line about what you can expect in January, because this is fun. What else will January reveal for you? What a good thing. Let's get some good, what's coming up that's good in January that you can look forward to. Accept and receive. Good. That's more, I think I'm getting that with your emotions. I think with expressing yourself more, opening yourself up more, being more vulnerable. That's a word I haven't said yet. And I absolutely think you're coming into a vulnerable state in a good way. You're allowing people in and you're sharing probably more of yourself than you have in a long time. So I get that with accept and receive. And yeah, and in turn, people share more with you. And I don't know if that appeals to you or not, but it can be a nice thing that leads to a lot of other nice things. So accept and receive. And then we've got more pentacles, of course, because you're on track. And then rest and recovery here. So the Seven of Pentacles is like the making the investments. This is putting the hard work in. This is like, the labor. Your Four of Pentacles, is the point where you realize like, oh my God, I've got a budget, scrimp, save if I want this to happen. And then you go through the Pentacles and each one's just another step along the way of like achieving your Nine of Pentacles. And then the 10 is even better. But so you're on this path, which is great. This is more of a patience. This is more of putting the work in. So we're definitely, you're currently patient. You're still patient. But you are also still working. There is still something you're working towards and doing, but that's great. Everything tells us that this work is absolutely going to be hard work paying off. And for January too, this is a rest and recovery card, and we asked for something good, so you're going to have the time, the peace. Maybe there is a vacation coming up for you. I could absolutely see that, even though there isn't a single card here to make me think that you're traveling. I feel like there's a message of almost like a reward, like you're going to get to reward yourself. And this card makes me think of that. And then with these earth signs, I just think you're going to get to go somewhere. And by vacation, that can be a weekend trip, or it could be, I don't know, like 2 months in Bali. I don't know what your vacation is, but I do think you're going to find a way to really reward yourself for all your hard work and effort and a little bit of torment. And it's funny because when I do these readings, this is the third I've done, they're not really about love and relationships. They're about like just your current state, which is always like just kind of mental and good, and with a little bit of ugly, but good, like not crazy, not horrible, just real. So I'm gonna get you a good luck charm from Spirit, and then like a little note of caution, but not in a bad way, just in a good way. So let's get her good luck charm is Creator Fire. So you basically create fire and collaboration of souls. So the good luck charm is, I think this is, we've got the fire sign. That's energy. That's inspiration. I think this is like, find your inspiration, work with that inspiration, find your fire, just continue, just ignite yourself. And this could be, even though the emotions are a water card, it's finding that drive, that push, that inspiration internally to just get a little bit more emotion out of you. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get from that. And then the word of warning would be collaboration of souls. I don't know if there's someone that, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into that card because I don't want to put a negative spin on it. Maybe just if you're having an emotional month, just not be careful, but be careful without putting any too much stock into that, of like maybe who you trust, who you talk to, who you share all these emotions you're having with. Maybe just be a little, I don't know. I don't want to put too much stock in that, but collaboration of souls. Just watch out who you share your secrets with. I guess I'll put it that way. But this is a great reading. I think you've got a great January coming up. I think, any worry about money or a business venture of sorts or something along that line, I think it's going to pan out for you in a very nice way. And we can get a time card. Let's see when I'll just finish with this. There might be a lunar stamp on here. And if there is, then I can attribute it to a date in January. If not, it's just, there's not a date that Spirit wants to give you, but this will be like, I don't know, like when's a good day for you in January? What's a day where like you can expect to have something good happen, or to just see a change? I don't know, like a lucky day in January for whatever reason, something to pay attention to. Okay. And so there isn't a date on here, and that's fine because this will happen. Their Spirit just isn't ready to provide a date for it, but this is a January reading. And the message that you were given instead is, I explore my wildness and dance and pleasure. Again, this makes me think that you're doing something with the trip, or you're getting out of your space that you're in, and you're just doing something different, something fiery, something exciting. This would definitely make me think of a collaboration with pleasure, with fire creator. And if you do take a trip, maybe this is it. Like maybe you have a drunken night. Just don't pour your heart out to that person. Don't tell them every detail of your life, I guess. That was very detailed and probably not necessary. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear if you did, or if you have any thoughts. And I just wish you a really wonderful January and absolutely a Happy New Year. I think you're the first one I wished Happy New Year to. I can't believe it never dawned on me to say that. Happy New Year. Okay, this is lots and we're done. And I just hope you have lots of wonderful things happen this month. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Happy New Year. I am doing a reading for January 2022, what to expect this month in the new year. And then we'll get into a little bit about what January will reveal to you. So this is my fourth and last reading that I'll be doing for this. I think the three before were fascinating, not really about relationships at all, which is always interesting. So let's get into it. This is for grown. Okay, I am going to start off by pulling an oracle card and then some tarot cards to get an idea of where you're at right now. I want to know where you are right now. Sorry, it's so much noise. We just had this card, but this deck has been thoroughly shuffled, so much more than what I just did 2 seconds ago even. So it's here for a reason. Okay, unstick the stack. And we've got 8 of Wands. I haven't seen this card in a while. Wheel of Fortune. 5 of Wands and Ace of Swords. Interesting. Okay, let me look at this and figure out where you're at. Unstick the stack. So just going off here a little bit, we've got what could be travel, change. 5 of Wands is always a tricky one. There's some conflict. Okay, I think whatever's been going on in the last, I won't say year necessarily, but whatever's led you to where you are right now, I do think that you've been, there's been like kind of this is potential, this is inspiration, this can be just new ways of thinking. And with aces, I almost always think of this like monetary aspect to attach to it. Like this is, the thought of a new business venture. But really this is, I just feel like it's new ways of thought. Whatever, I don't know that I'm really pulling like a money from this. I think you've just been approaching things differently. Whatever that means, consciously there's something or more than one thing that you are trying to attack from a different angle, a different perspective, a different approach. The 5 of Wands is, it's conflict. It's not like raging anger. It's not a crazy fight. It could actually be healthy. It could be needed, but there's a little bit of conflict. And maybe if I see these 2 cards together, I think that maybe this conflict's been going on for a while and you're seeking therapy, or you're just trying to think about different ways to approach it, new thoughts. And I don't mean that you are in therapy like, well, there's nothing wrong with therapy, but I guess what I'm saying is, what am I saying? I'm trying to say, I don't know why I'm backpedaling. But if you are, let's say if you have started going to therapy, it's because that's where I get this new thought, this new approach to problem solving where someone else helped you see things this way. So that could absolutely be a therapist. It could be a book, it could be a movie, it could be a friend, whatever it is, you're on a new path of dealing with things. And I do think this conflict brought about this need to do things a little bit differently. You might have been a little stuck before this. This might have been your like Hail Mary to just kind of see things differently. And I will say that I think your current situation has changed not only your thought pattern or process, but your actual physical body, or not body, like your place. I think you've moved, or you are like living somewhere different, or there are parts of your life, habits that you've switched up, you've changed. And I don't know why. I don't know if this change came about because, let's say, a relationship ended, so things you were doing with someone and those patterns and those habits change. But I do feel like there's an element of that. And the Wheel of Fortune this is a funny card. It's not a great card. It's almost a card of like a karmic cycle. And it makes me think that you kind of got dealt a shitty hand, like something kind of not ideal you've been dealing with something not great, not horrible. And I'm not saying karmic as in you deserve it at all. But karmic, what I mean by karma is like, there's this unexplainable, karma is one of those things you can be getting karma for something you did 5 lives ago, or at least that's what I believe. Karma is something that I don't understand it. I don't get the timing of karma, or why, or how, or why good things happen to bad people and bad things happen. Like, I don't get it. I don't even know to what extent I believe in all aspects of karma, but this makes me think that you were dealt a shitty hand, and either you think it's because of something you did before, like, oh, I deserved this, I had this coming, or maybe it's the opposite and you're like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I would never have done this to someone. I feel like it's an extreme of one or the other, but it just feels very like either way, it's one of those, and it's just forced you to do things differently, think about things differently, approach things differently, and it's caused a little bit of conflict, but nothing crazy. I think this is your thing. I don't see that it involves a whole lot of other people, but it could have been a relationship ending, or something happened that made you think what I just said. Let's get a little bit more about where you are. And you are unsticking your stuck. I do think you've been in a bit of a rut, and things are changing now, like physically, mentally, the conversations are starting to be had, the words are getting thrown around, and things are changing. And with this Wheel of Fortune, it's like a ride. It goes, it stops, and it gets rid of bad energies and takes on new energy. So there's just this energy that's like literally getting injected into your, whether it's your relationship, your career, your life, your head, whatever it is. There's new energy being injected into what you're doing right now, and that's exciting. And I like that really makes me think of the Ace of Swords and unsticking your stuck. So a little bit more about where you are at. Cut the cords of doubt. So you're doing that now. Cutting cords is awesome and something that I wish I knew more to talk about, but I know that it is a very, very powerful activity, and I know you can do it with meditation, with hypnosis. I actually can recommend someone who does hypnosis and does this in a magical way. If that interests you, let me know. But it is definitely it's an intense thing. And when you start to do that, you are freed. You are unstuck, quite literally. And here it falls underneath that. And cords of doubt can be anything. It can be a partner that you're questioning or doubting. It can be, a business venture of some sorts that you're questioning. It can be anything. It can be, am I going to be able to lose the weight I want to lose? It's just nipping that in the bud. So good for you. That's exciting. I'm very happy for you if you're doing that, because it's work. It's definitely a lot of work. And the Wheel of Fortune probably helped bring that out, which is great. Okay, a little bit more about where you are right now. The Hierophant, the Tower, the Five of Pentacles, and the Son of Wands. This reinstates that there's definitely something. Actually, none of these readings, this is the fourth one, none of them were like bright and fuzzy and warm. We didn't get any of like the Lovers or the Sun or the Star, nothing. It's like everyone is always going through something. And I think when you ask for a reading like this of like what to expect, you want to hear that something good's going to happen. You want to know that there's some reprieve coming up where you're like, oh yeah, this little cycle or this period's ending. Again, we haven't gotten there. We haven't asked for that yet. I'm sure we'll see that. But just to get a little bit more, there is some weight. The Hierophant, I don't think this is you, but this is definitely your life. There's something just very like regimented that's been going on that I think actually you've cut cords with. So either there was a Hierophant in your life that you have literally just done away with, because this is an intense energy. The Hierophant is like, it could be, a pope in the 15th century, which doesn't sound like someone nice at all. It sounds like someone who would like kill you if you didn't like read a Bible verse the right way or something. Like, it is just someone who to me seems very regimented, very unforgiving, very like dogmatic, pragmatic. I think both those words apply. I always get them confused, but I think both apply to the Hierophant. It is just, and I think it's someone who speaks their mind. It's connected to the throat chakra. So I think it's someone who is like always there to tell you how you can do something better, what you're doing wrong, how it should be done. You'd be happier if it is a very overpowering energy. I don't like the Hierophant. I don't know. I feel bad if some people like that card. I personally don't. I think there was a Hierophant in your life, and I'm going to say that you've cut them out completely, or you need to, and you're absolutely going to, but this is like this is your path right now. And then, I don't know, the Hierophant just makes me think of someone who they might think they're positive, but their doubt would come through in a message of like, you really shouldn't do it that way, or you really should be doing more of this. It's just always a direction. It's always like a mantra where you're like, that's not mine. I don't want that. So you are done with that because it's really annoying. And then you can start thinking your own thoughts the way you want. And you're done with that. I don't know if you're the Son of Wands. I don't know who's the Son of Wands. It is a funny card to me. But I will say that you could be the Son of Wands right now. And that would mean that you are like there's a passion there. Let's just say there's this kind of enthusiasm. There is this, you could be the Son of Wands because I think you're finally like seeing this light where you're like, you know what? I am changing. I am completely inspired to like change things, to get off this ride, to stop just like going in this cycle, to switch things up. And this is a card of like, it makes me think of drought. It makes me think of a lack of something. And then it, then it would lead to almost this like craving of something, but it definitely makes me think of there being not enough of whatever is needed. And I do think that the Hierophant probably brought out that kind of like culture or energy within you. This could be a boss, this could be a neighbor. I mean, it could just be someone who's you let into your life. It can absolutely be a partner. Someone you let into your life that is just they are not serving you. I don't like them for you. And I'm all for you treating them as the tower and just cutting them loose and freeing them. It's going to make you more inspired. It's going to just, all this up here is great. And I think it's a cord you need to cut because you're missing a few things right now. And it's taking a toll. It's probably making you a little more nitpicky is downplaying it, just a little more combative. And I don't think as this picture that I paint seems darker than it really is, I don't think you've actually entered a phase where you're like, where this is really affecting you. I think you're just starting to think of it and you're aware of it, but I don't see like that you've been in this dark hole from it, or there aren't really very negative cards on the table here at all. It's more of like a warning. It's more of painting a picture to say like, you're working through something, but stick with that because, we don't want this to take a dark turn, and it's not going to. Okay, let's find out. I want to find out what January is going to reveal to you because, we have a pretty good idea of where you're at right now. So yeah, what is January going to reveal? Celebrate your wins. Love that. Because that means you will have wins in whichever form of success whatever accomplishments you have, there will be wins. And that is good. We've got the Son of Swords and the Son of Cups. That's funny. And then the Son of Wands. Wow. People have all sorts of different theories for what you do when you have all these like court cards. I'm going to say that you're going to get to be all these people. And that might not sound very exciting, but the Son of all the suits is basically, he's always charming. He's always attractive. He's always someone you want to hang out with or be. He's just very cool. He's very interesting. He's very charming. It's a male energy, but it can absolutely tack itself onto a female. But if you get to be all these people, if you're coming into this, you are definitely coming into like just a level of like charm and enthusiasm. You are interesting. You are dynamic. You are someone people want to be around. You're someone that walks down the street and random people smile at. You're like that. I hope it doesn't sound too like made up, but it really is an awesome, awesome energy. And I know this, it's like the way you feel when you have a new outfit and you know you look good or you feel good or I don't know, have a song playing in your car and you're like, you're just hyped up a little bit. And you're just like, you're feeling yourself. And this is a tremendous energy. And if you haven't felt this, because rarely do people feel all these things, but this is what I'm seeing for you, that good things are going to happen. There are going to be wins, and the wins are probably going to come in the form of like actually successfully cutting this person loose. And instead of dealing with like feeling bad or feeling a way about it that you might attribute to karma in one way or another. Instead, you're going to feel like $1,000,000. You're going to feel like you are just, I don't know, kind of like on top of the world and things are really clicking for you. And whatever you look like, don't look like, it doesn't matter. You're just going to literally look and feel like $1,000,000. And that's what I get out of this. Because there's just all these fun things happening here. And it's funny because the one knight that isn't here, or the sun, is the Son of Pentacles, and he's a total snooze fest and not sexy, not dynamic. He's just a one-dimensional guy who's smart and gets the job done. But you can do that anyway. You're fine. There's nothing on here to make me think that you're in this like, financial hole or anything. But I think what you need is just more than you need something to focus on career right now. I think you just need to feel good and lifted and just totally lit up. And so your January is you're going to be on fire. And there are going to be wins to celebrate. So get excited about that. And my question here was what will January reveal? And it just so happens to be amazing, but I'm going to ask Spirit, tell me something wonderful that's going to happen to you in January. Like, let's get a good thing happening in January. Like, what's an example of a win that you're going to get to celebrate? So let's see here. Changemaker makes waves. So you are switching things up. You are changing. You're burning things to the ground. Not literally, but you are thinking about things differently. You are quite possibly cutting people out of your life, definitely cutting cords of doubt, getting off the ride, getting back on. I mean, this is all about change in such an exciting and very cool way. That yes, it will make waves. And whatever that means, I mean, you could take that so literally to be like, you're going to be swimming in a beach somewhere, or you are just forget the waves. Like, you're just changing and it's awesome and it's shaking things up and you want change. You want change. This is where you're at. Oh, the star. Did I just not say that I haven't seen the star? And here you go. You got it. And you got the 2 of Cups. So, I'm glad we asked Spirit for this. And we can just thank Spirit right now for this amazing gift that you are being given for January. And you did this. I didn't do this. Spirit didn't do this. She's just telling you about this. You did this. Whatever you're doing, whatever you've done, whoever you are, this is yours. But let me tell you, January is going to be a beautiful month for you. And I'm just going to say with these 2 of Cups, it's the love and intimacy card. It's basically the Lover's card. It is a very beautiful card. It doesn't mean you're going to fall in love. If that feels like too much to deal with, you might meet the love of your life. You might meet your best friend. Whatever it is, this is a card of just love and just happiness through the feeling of love. Whatever endorphin rush love gives you, it's different for everyone. You're going to get to feel that. Let's just put it that way. That happy feeling will absolutely surround you in January, and it could last the rest of your life. There's not an end date on it. It just means that it's coming into you on January. And the star it's heaven on earth. This is this is a card of hope, of spiritual guidance. Oh my goodness, excuse me. It is a card of like positive thoughts, knowing yourself. It is very much a good thing. And it's like, I was told, or I read something like we've all grown up thinking like wishing on a star, looking into the night sky, and stars they hold this magical power. Like when you see a night with stars, it just makes you happy. You'd have to be dead inside to not look up at a starry sky at night and feel something. And that is what the star card is. It's that feeling. It's that delivering some kind of message, like things are just going to work. You've got your star to wish on. You've got that just beautiful starry night energy and hope. And light, it's that light in the dark. It's everything. So, a beautiful month of January is coming your way. I love this reading for you. I'm going to end it here because it's so positive. It's so good. And you've earned it. Whatever's this, that's a vibe that I get too from this. And I haven't said this in my other readings. It's not like I always say this. There's something here that makes me think you really earned it. So up here, we didn't get into like a very heavy, I didn't read this as being like a very heavy thing, but maybe it is. Like maybe there's a backstory here, something you've been dealing with for a while, and it is actually very heavy. And when I said like, oh, maybe you're going to therapy, I almost laughed about it because it's like, oh, you're going to therapy because you had an argument with someone or because you're a little more like snippety lately. But it's like, well, no, maybe this is something that's been around for a long time. Like this isn't just, there could be a lot more to this that didn't present itself because maybe you don't let it get to you in that way, but it has actually been quite heavy. So I just get the feeling that whatever beautiful, fun thing is happening to you and turning over for you this year, it's been a long time coming. Like this was a very clear message of like, you deserve this, enjoy it, you deserve it. And the cut the cords of doubt is a very, very straightforward message of like, just, you need to do this for you and it will pay off and you've earned the right to be happy. And, I don't know, just like adored and kind of, even if there's something superficial about like you getting to be all these things, it's a great way to feel, and you can feel that way from here on out. It's not just January. It's kind of like you're coming into a new being of yourself. So yeah, I hope you love this reading, and one day people will comment, because they won't be the first comment. And maybe you can be the first comment and inspire other people to comment. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this, if any of it clicked with you or if you're still listening. So thank you so much. Have a great night and a very, very happy new year and a wonderful January. Goodbye. Hello. I really, really want to thank you. I want to wish you a happy new year, a wonderful January. It looks like everyone that I just read for here has truly wonderful things happening. They've had a bit of a rough go of it. And yeah, it just makes me happy to see these readings come out the way they did. But thank you so much for being here is really the whole point of this. And if you feel moved to comment, like, subscribe, whatever, I would very much appreciate it. And I would just be so touched and excited to hear anything someone has to say at this point. So yeah, I hope that happens. If not, please tune in, keep watching, enjoy these readings, and I hope you have a wonderful new year. Just wishing you the best. Thank you so much. Goodbye.